morning. You're watching WCVB NewsCenter 5 Eyeopener.
Soaring well into the 90s across the region today, our hottest temperatures of the year. I'm tracking when this extreme heat will break.
Hydrating and more. Medical experts have some warnings on day 6 of this heat wave.
And a hate group demonstrating in the Boston area, the latest in a concerning string of hate incidents. We'll break down the timeline and the recent rise of hate crimes.
10:30 on your Sunday morning, July 24th, and it feels like it too as we take a live look over the city right now. Pretty warm out there. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jennifer Egan.
I'm Rondella Richardson at 10:30. I love the way you said, if you're going to feel the breeze, it's going to be like when you turn the air conditioner on in the car and you get all the hot air. That just nailed it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
It is 10:40 on your Sunday. Monkeypox, now a global emergency.
And the significance of the declaration from the World Health Organization, plus dangerous heat leading to a state of emergency near a hugely popular tourist destination out in California. The impacts of the brutal heat they're also dealing with out west. Kellyanne.
Seems like we're all in the thick of it when we talk about this heat and humidity. High temperatures reaching toward the upper 90s today could possibly set some records. We're timing out some showers and storms in the forecast soon, and eventually some relief from this very hot stretch. Looking a little hazy out there right now. This is our live look at Boston. 89 degrees, but we have many inland spots in the 90s.
Monkeypox has now been declared a global emergency. Global emergency is the World Health Organization's highest level of alert. The virus has been found in more than 70 countries. Similar
could lead to some isolated pockets of flooding, but we're not talking about a long-lasting soaking, so drought conditions will continue.
And this is the talk of the day, potentially record-setting heat in our forecast.
The health risks you could face if you are spending too much time out in the sun on a day like today. We'll be right back. Well, some of the hottest temperatures of the year on tap for today.
That's for sure. And the Eyeopener's Josh Brogadier live on Carson Beach experiencing the heat and one of the places people will be looking to cool off today.
Gosh, thank you. Fenway Park will be a hot one today.
Hopefully the Red Sox will heat it up on the field. That's okay.
They need to pick them.
Yeah. Well, we are really heating up today. Upper 90s, but the heat index, we throw in the humidity, will make it feel like it's into the triple digits. Bottom line, just stay inside if you have the option to. Tomorrow, scattered storms, they could turn pretty strong through the afternoon and evening. So gusty wind a concern, but also some embedded downpours. I say downpours, you might think, oh yes, finally my grass will get wet. But when it's fast moving downpours with a really heavy rate, it's not as beneficial. So drought continues.
Okay, thanks for spending your weekend with us as we shake on out of here. Have a great day. We'll try not to shake and bake in this heat.
This is a WCVB Channel 5 editorial. Speaking on behalf of the editorial board, WCVB President and General Manager, Kyle Grimes.
Mayor Michelle Wu made an excellent choice in Michael Cox to be the next leader of the Boston Police Department. Cox brings to the job a strong law enforcement resume. He knows the neighborhoods of the city and has deep institutional knowledge after spending nearly his entire career with the BPD. And he is invested in the idea of police reform at a time when it's desperately needed. In other words, he checks every box, even without the unique perspective that he brings to the job. But it is that unique perspective that makes this an inspired choice. Cox understands firsthand the pain that comes from a violent encounter with law enforcement, the physical and the psychological, because he endured them both when he was beaten by fellow officers in 1995 while working undercover. Cox also knows firsthand how power can corrupt, because he saw his fellow officers go silent rather than expose the individuals who beat him. This young black officer, of course, wasn't privileged with the protection of the thin blue line. He also knows the importance of promoting reform from within. Few can understand the enormous burden Cox must have felt continuing his career at the BPD, while at the same time suing to expose the cover-up that followed his beating. It was an example of the uncommon courage that followed him throughout the next 2 decades as he worked his way up the leadership ladder. Michael Cox is the right choice at the right time for a department in serious need of new leadership. Credit to Mayor Wu for a bold selection and to Commissioner Cox for his courage and willingness to lead.
Send comments to editorials at WCVB.com. Most watched, most honored. Winner of 4 Edward R. Murrow Awards, including Best Newscast, WCVB NewsCenter 5, Boston's news leader.